Okay, what we're going to talk about right now is this toolbar over here that's in your stuff. Like I said, this is kind of the brain of My Big Campus where everything that matters to you will go. So we'll start with activity feed. As you can see, I'm logged in through Ms. Decker, a brand new account. There's nothing here, but if she were to get discussions going and there to be comments made, assignments turned in, anything that happens would show up in this activity feed so she'd know that she can respond to it or not respond to it, depending on what she wants to do. Next up is the wall function, and this is something that I know, at least with middle school students, that we were not going to open up to them yet. Now, a teacher could write on their own wall, they could post a video to their wall, they could do things on their wall which would allow students to then respond, which would be fine, but we don't want to give students right now the ability to write on each other's walls, because really as of this moment, there's not really an educational need for that other than socialization. And one big thing we're trying to stress is My Big Campus is not Facebook. Messages. This is another function that could be used among faculty. It could be used, mainly as a faculty function. Again, we have not allowed students to have this. It's something we could look at in the future, but we don't necessarily need them messaging each other. We see an educational value to that. That could happen. The good news is this obviously is monitored just like any other email, but we'd be able to monitor all messages and that's sent every word. Okay, the next thing is the blog. In the blog, you would have a chance here that you could write this. You could set it to public, you could set it to private. You could have it so only people in your class could see it, but this would be a place where you could talk about what you're going to be doing that week, put up text, a specific lesson, post a video, just another writing space where you can put out information. And again, this is not available for students as of now. It's something we could open up later on. Assignments. We're going to go into more details later on about how to create assignments, but when you do create them, this is where you'll go, and we'll go to add new assignment. Right now there are none, obviously. Now this is a wonderful part of My Big Campus, and one of the favorite things is the idea of the calendar. We did not order agenda books for our 8th graders because they will be using this calendar. Every student will have their own individualized calendar, and what happens is they would be able to put events in by add new event here, and as they join a group, let's say you're going to be setting up some groups for each of your period, your classes, your class periods. As they join your group, any date that you've put on the calendar for that group will automatically go into their calendar. So as they join their math group, their language arts group, their social studies, their science, all of those dates will automatically go into their own individualized calendar. And you can see on the side here it is color coded. This means if you assign them an assignment, it automatically goes into their calendar. If they put in personal events, group events, we've talked about having sports teams, giving the coaches access to this so they could put in a calendar, and this would be a way for them to communicate with students as well. School events, district events. So we'll have a district group that students would join at the very beginning of the year, and so all those district dates, when professional development, when the holidays are, all of those things would go straight into their calendar, including their specific school events. So we really like, the teachers that I've worked with really like this calendar function. It saves a lot of that idea of, oh, I forgot to write it down. No, you didn't. It was on your calendar in My Big Campus. Okay, let's move on to private file storage. And here, this is basically your like your home drive. This is a place where you can put documents that you want to have for easy use. Documents that if you're going to work on a computer at home, and this way you would be able to access it very easily. As long as you have an internet connection and can get on My Big Campus, you would be able to access these documents. So you would simply choose a file, you would pull it from anywhere on your desktop, and you would upload it to your private file storage. Now the opposite of that is collections. And this is where you're going to start putting information in, videos that you'd find. What we'll do real fast is you just name a collection. You can have as many different collections as you want. I'm going to call this one collection number 1. You'd save it, and when we go to this next part, you'll see how we can add them into this. So we're going to go now to the public library items. This is a library that's been put together by all users of My Big Campus, and the administration of My Big Campus are adding things in. Things like the Khan Academy. Some of you have heard about that. Some of those videos have already been added in, and they're consistently being updated. But what we could do is we can click on Add an Item, and we could either have already found something that we want to bring in, say a YouTube video, and we'll talk about this again in a later video, but you could add this in here. You are asked to give some descriptions of this so that it could be used by other people on My Big Campus, but that's a solution for when students don't have access to YouTube. You can import it yourself into My Big Campus so that a student would be able to view that. Also, there's a great up here in this search engine. This is kind of like Google. We could type in, let's type in Greek mythology. All of the things that are in the My Big Campus library start coming up now, and as you can see, we have websites, we have videos. There's all kinds of things that are on here. Some of these are really, really good. Some of them aren't good. And, but the one thing you should remember is this is through Lightspeed, which is our filtering system. So everything should at least be kosher, okay for students. So let's say I like this and I really want this. What I'm going to do is click Add to Collection. Now I might have 20 different collections for different topics. I might have my Greek mythology. I might have my Edgar Allan Poe file. I might have my math concepts into different collections. What I would do is, as I'm searching, I can go through and boop, just add it in. I'm going to say, oh, I want it in that one, and click Add, and there it is. The item has been added to the collection. So that's something you can definitely play with when we get done here. Also, let's go to Group Members. Again, there won't be anything in there now, but these are just the people that you communicate with. These will be your students. These will be your faculty members, staff members, and this is where you can go to find them. And Bob Campus, of course. Bob Campus is someone we'll talk about later on, a very important person here on My Big Campus. Settings. This is those things we set up in the beginning. If you're not happy with any of those things now, you could go back and put those in, including choosing that picture, which is important, that you put something in, whether it's I know I had a Lego in there, or you want to put a real picture of yourself. Put something up so you're easily identified, or if you want to just change your salutation, I'll do that for her right now. And when you're done, just save changes. Okay. And finally is viewing your profile. And this, again, is just like a Facebook function that's sort of a summary of everything at your wall. It's all your settings information. This is sort of your, I won't say resume, but this is your digital identity on My Big Campus. So that is an example of the Your Stuff bar, and go ahead now and play and explore.